Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horror Trans. I am Stephanie Bree. I'm a transgender woman, and I talk about all things horror. And today I'm tackling the original Amityville Horror. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. Like The Conjuring, I have seen a lot of the Amityville Horror franchise. They're haunted house stories. I'm fascinated by ghost stories. I'm also terrified of ghosts in real life. So, haunted house stories, movies, tend to be the scariest movies for me. And yes, the Amityville Horror is scary. I read the book when I was in third grade, and it scared the shit out of me in third grade. So let's talk a little bit about the movie. This one is kind of weird because it's controversial for a lot of reasons I'm not going to get into. And it's actually a little more obscure than I thought it was. It's well known because of the franchise, but the first movie is kind of forgotten. People don't talk about it that often. They talk either about the franchise or the controversy. And I'm not talking about either or here. I'm just talking the original. So basically, here's what happens. A guy gets possessed by a demon or the devil or some evil spirit of some sort, and he murders his whole family. And then a few years later, this new family moves into the house, this couple, with a daughter. And a teenage daughter, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. And they start to see things. And the house is definitely haunted. So they're Catholics, so they invite the priest in to bless the house, and the priest gets attacked by the house and refuses to do the blessing, and then basically the priest dies. And then that starts a whole investigation by the church. What's going on with this house? And then, through a series of events, the daughter dies, but her spirit comes back, and her spirit haunts the parents the rest of the movie. And so they spend the movie, one, trying to convince the wife that the daughter is in fact dead, because she doesn't believe it, because she saw her ghost in the house at the same time the dad saw her actually dying, physically dying. So there's that. And then there is a little back and forth between the mom and the dad and the church figures. And they do eventually encounter the ghosts, the demons, or whatever it is. And then the house chases them out of it and basically says, fuck off, don't live here. And the movie ends. And so that's where we end this movie. Like I said, we don't talk about the sequels. We'll get there when we get there. So I have a hard time with this movie because one, it is fucking scary. I also have a hard time with this movie because of the controversy, but I don't want to get into it. And I have a hard time with this movie because of the pacing. It's quite slow paced, which is par for the course for haunted house movies, so you expect that, of course. But compared to other haunted house movies, there's really not a lot going on in this one, to tell you the truth. Is it scary? Yes, I would say it is. I find it scary when I watch it. Is it good? Not really. This is a pass. I would classify it as a rent, but pretty much it's a pass. This is a one-time watch, if that. And you move on. You move on to the sequels or the superior Conjuring franchise, and then you forget about this rubbish. So that's where I stand on this movie. It is not a very good movie. I do not recommend it. I suggest you avoid it altogether. There's better haunted house movies out there.